Ryūji, 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 Ryūji. Ryūji or Ryūji Ryūji. Ryūji is a common masculine Japanese given name. Possible writings. Ryūji can be written using different kanji characters and can mean long or a dragon second, long sai, dragon next, long sea, dragon rule, long or a dragon child, long jai, dragon governor, long or a dragon second, long sai, dragon next, long sea, dragon rule, long jai, dragon governor, long or a dragon child, long or elevate, second, long sai, elevate, next, long sea, elevate, rule, long elevate, child. The name can also be written in hiragana or katakana. People with the name. Amanishiki Yuji Long, born 1978, Japanese sumo wrestler. Chiateka Yuji Long, born 1976, Japanese sumo wrestler. Ryūji Bando Long, born 1979, Japanese football player. He's football player. He's football player. Ryūji Endo Yuenteng Long Jai, born 1976, Japanese baseball player. Ryūji Hijakata Long C, born 1978, Japanese professional wrestler. Ryūji Yamada Long, born 1976, US-based Japanese professional golfer. Ryūji Amechi Long, 1986, Japanese singer. Ryūji Ito Long, born 1976, Japanese professional wrestler. Ryūji Kamiyama Long C, born 1986, Japanese vocalist and actor. Ryūji Kato Jaya Teng Long, born 1969, Japanese footballer. Ryūji Kawai Long, born 1978, Japanese football player. Football player. Ryūji Kimura Mukun Long Jai, born 1970, Japanese baseball player. Ryūji Masuda Long Jai, born 1968, Japanese CGI animation director. Ryūji Matsumura Long, born 1938, Japanese politician. Ryūji Michiki Long Sai, born 1973, Japanese football player. Ryūji Miki Long, born 1975, Japanese racing and drifting driver. Ryūji Miyamoto Long C, born 1947, Japanese photographer. Ryūji Noguchi Iku Long C, born 1995, Japanese rugby union player, Yuji Ono Dahi Longer, born 1985, Japanese long-distance runner. Ryūji Seikechi Liur, born 1928, Japanese voice actor, Oni's voice actor, Yuji Seine Longer, born 1981, Japanese actor. Ryūji Sato Kai Teng Longjai, born 1993, Japanese footballer. Ryūji Sasai Long Si, born 1961, video game composers. Yo game composers. Wo game composers. Ryūji Yamane Longjai, born 1948, Japanese politician. Fictional characters. With the given name Ryūji Danma, Danjin Longer, a character in the manga series Shonen Junai Yumi and its sequel Great Teacher Onizuka. Ryūji Aikta, a character in the manga series Initial D, series Initial D. Ryūji Hattori Fubu Longer, Hatsutori Ryūji, a character from the Kunio-kun video game series. Ryūji the Blade Hanada, a character in the manga series Crying Freeman. Ryūji Otogi Longer, a character in the anime and manga series Yu-Gi-Oh! Ryūji Sugashita Longer, a character in the manga series DNA 2. Ryūji Takane Longer, the main character of the manga and anime series Ring Nai Kakiro. Ryūji Takasu Longer, one of the main characters in the anime light novel series Toradora. Ryūji Takeyama Long Si, a central character in the Ringu trilogy. Ryūji Torimaru Long Sai, a character in the manga series Sakigake. Hatakajuku, Juku. Ryūji Yamazaki Longer, a video game character in Fatal Fury and King of Fighters. Ryūji Kisaragi Long Si, the main character of the light novel and anime series Dragon Crisis. Ryūji Midorikawa Longer, a character from Inazuma 11. Ryūji Kusaka Longer, a character from Inazuma 11 Go Galaxies. Ryūji Sakamoto Long Si, a major character in the video game Persona 5. Ryūji Sugiro, a major character in Blue Exorcist. Ryūji Iwasaki, a character from Takume Sentai Go Busters. Ryūji Nagumo, a character from Hajime no Ippo. Ryūji Goda, a character from Yakuza 2 and Yakuza Kiwami 2.